100 years ago in April, the famous unsinkable ship, they called it, actually sank to the bottom of the North Atlantic. It killed over 1,500 people on board. Brett Dickie's live this morning at an exhibit in Frankenmuth that is honoring the Titanic ship. Good morning, Brett.
Good morning, Liz. It happened so long ago, but what a fascinating story, and it's still a very powerful event, and what an awesome exhibit they have here right in Frankenmuth. Jonathan Webb, director of the Historical Museum here. We've kind of went around the museum. You see a timeline, and now we're here at Rescue and Recovery. Tell me a little bit about this area of the museum.
Okay. Well, this details the recovery of the survivors by the Carpathia the morning after the sinking. And then progresses into, unfortunately, the grisly task of recovering the bodies that were floating out there. And then subsequent investigation of what exactly led to this tragedy, and talking a little bit about some of the legislation that was passed after that to improve safety and things like that.
These articles you got here, these articles really go into detail about people and their experiences, that sort of thing. It is very grisly. It's watery grave, very terrifying.
Yeah, it really is. And this is actually kind of fascinating. We've got 4 different newspapers that we featured here, beginning with the first report that there had actually been some sort of accident, which was a 4 a.m. special edition of the Philadelphia newspaper. We move on to the day after the sinking. We have the New York Times, and these are actual all real newspapers here. And then I think most fascinating, especially locally, we have 2 newspapers from Saginaw that were from the week after the sinking. So to give you an idea of the impact of this tragedy on the public, the entire front page of the newspaper is still, this is a week after the accident, is still all about the Titanic.
Unbelievable. Now, why, and real quick, why was it unsinkable? Why would a ship be considered unsinkable?
Well, this ship was constructed in a manner that was different than anything that had been built before. It had a series of 30 watertight compartments. The belief being that you could seal off these compartments and only if you had an accident, and the ship would not be able to sink. Unfortunately, the problem was if you ruptured more than 4 of those compartments at any one time, there was no saving the ship. And so,
that iceberg,
right,
kind of bent it in, not a hole, but kind of bent the ship in and let the water in.
Yeah, it buckled the steel plates on the side, and unfortunately, water was able to enter 5 compartments right off the bat. So the guy that actually engineered and constructed the ship was on board, and within minutes of hitting that iceberg, even though the passengers weren't even aware there was a problem at that time, he and the captain went down and assessed the damage, and they said, it's going down, and we better get people on the lifeboats.
And went down it went. Of course, we're here in Michigan with a lot of history of shipwrecks, so what a cool exhibit to see right in your backyard here in Frankenmuth.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you so much. And be great to check out something like that this weekend. This nice weather is going to continue.